Today, from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, it's Week 18 of the NFL on EA Sports.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Atlanta Falcons and the Miami Dolphins. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Richardson. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 20, then he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest-Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. So here the Falcons now as they get set for their opening possession. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll drop to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. They get to him for a loss of 4. And it brings up 3rd down on the sack. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Their opening drive here is going to result in a punt. They got 7 yards there, but not enough.
Pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year. But you think this game, their toughest test yet?
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run. So this game is crucial.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. These deep. Defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
7 yards to pick up there. This defense for the Dolphins, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
Well, let's face it, when you hold someone to just 6 points in a game, the feeling that you have among your team is that you're not going to lose very many of those. That's the way to get it done.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll run it with Wade. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now back to throw. And Walker has it.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with the tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
On 3rd down, it's Wade. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Walker with a grab, left side. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup there. 2nd and 3. Eluding the pressure right. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. No problem there on the extra point. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team.
A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. It's a big play there for Miami.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he's going to ball his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. It's the fullback taking it in. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score,
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Well, that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. The Falcons send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking on the midfield logo. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's Richardson throwing on 1st down. It's brought in by Harris. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple. Out of the 15-yard line. 2nd and 8 coming up. And he'll give it here to his running back. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 3rd down, Cotton. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL and picking up 1st downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on 1st and 2nd down, because that leaves them 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable. A lot easier to pick them.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
He'll drop to throw. And he'll hit his tight end, Walker. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. Now Wade. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 46 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On first down, Wade. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Rolling to his right. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
2nd and 6 from the 10. They're going to look to throw. He's got him.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run this one in. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. And that one really pushes him back. A loss of 9. And now it's 3rd and goal after the sack. He'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
This fielded right at the goal line. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on this. Attack there, and it's second down. Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Back to throw. Richardson is going to fire one deep over the middle. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that thing?
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's second down. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
On second down, it's Wade, only able to get it to his own 20 after breaking through the contact. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And this one is incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Returnable here from the 38. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A big play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Out comes this field general once more, leading his... About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Back to throw now on first down. Right back to Pitts again. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Now here's a throw, it's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 45-yard line. Now a give right side. It's Wade. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. And that will be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit?
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. Richardson now on 1st down. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one unless there's another defensive penalty.
And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback as time expires in the first half. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime. Now the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome into our EA Sports Halftime Report. A busy final day of the regular season, so let's get to it. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat, and it's the Patriots leading that one in the second quarter. The Pats still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, we'll head to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. The Steelers seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. As you can see the score there in the second quarter. The Egyptians trying to finish that one off and claim victory. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter, and they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half, so where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half. Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those three.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. The Falcons send out their punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fielded at the 33. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. So here. The Dolphins now, they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper at least, a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I would be worried about this game, maybe more than any other on the schedule, because I know my guys are looking ahead to that open week. I've got to keep them focused on the task ahead, make sure they take care of business in this one. Otherwise, you're talking about a double trap. The trap of losing the game and then having the open week and having to stew about it. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Gonna give this time to the tailback. He takes it to the 15, a nice display of power. That gives him a nice pickup. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. 2nd and 5. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He'll buy some time. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a 4th down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Miami set to take over. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And to give this time to the tailback. 44 yards on the ground for him so far.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll run on first down. Cotton. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
2nd and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
2nd and 13. And he's going to lose yardage here. As they will switch ends as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Walker. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. Taking it about the 36. So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
They run the counter now on 1st down. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 49 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Carry here for their fullback. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Handoff as they run the counter play. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Dolphins look poised to reach 17-0 as they add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by one more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
7 yards, the pick up there.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He finds his man, complete. That's Walker. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Back to throw again. Then he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw again. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. 2nd and 4. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 83 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
On 1st down, Turner, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. A give to the fullback on the dive. A giant hole up the middle. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21.
Normally when you see a short gain in the middle of a 3-4 defense, go ahead and pat the nose tackle on the back because he's holding things up and taking on extra blockers, which allows one of the inside linebackers to roam free and make the tackle.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down.
Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. But he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12.
I know we're in the era of wide open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Short kick. One of the up mid will take it now. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Miami, they finish off a perfect regular season, 17-0. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And the playoffs will run through their house as they'll get the week off and get set to host a divisional round game in 2 weeks' time. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.